All right, folks, welcome back to the TNT show. Free agency is over with today at 4. Um, so there's probably still going to be some more moves that come out after the moves that we talk about that have already happened. So if anything happens, well, obviously we're going to announce it live. But for the majority, we're just going to talk about some of the signings and whatnot for free agency for the past, I guess, 48 hours, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of like a domino effect. One person would go, and then all of a sudden, it would just be like it would get crazy there for a second. I mean, not a whole lot of like blockbuster. Like, man, that's nobody saw that coming. I didn't think so anyway. Josh Allen getting $330 million, $250 million guaranteed was a little bit of a shock, but to each their own, I guess. But starting off with the free agency, obviously Sam Darnold went to the Seahawks.
Okay.
Justin Fields went to the Jets. Grady
So,
Jarrett. Yeah, we'll just stop there. We'll stop. We'll start with those two.
yeah, we just hit those two real quick. Um, Seahawks taking Darnold. I think it's a little risky.
It made sense though. You got rid of practically your entire offense, so I'm curious to see what they do with Sam Darnold. I know they
Yeah,
brought in some people, but not like. I mean, you let go of Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, so that's other than them two. The younger guy they have, Jackson Smith. I mean, he's good, but it's like we talked about. If Sam Darnold can at least halfway replicate what he just did in Minnesota, the Seahawks should be fine. They
oh
have
yeah,
a
for sure.
solid team. So, I mean, Geno Smith was slinging it all over the place over there. Yeah, he had DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, but uh, I think they're not expecting a lot out of Sam Darnold, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, because the deal that he got was average at best. It wasn't even like top of the line compared to Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, guys like that. Of course.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to get nothing like that. Now, if he would have made a run to like the Super Bowl or something, oh yeah, probably.
I still would not expecting him to have gotten a lot of money because you got to think like this was his only good season, and
Yeah, that is true. That is fair.
yeah, and that season was so good because I mean, obviously he had a really great team around him. So you give him a fair deal, which they didn't overpay, I don't think, and you
Yeah, I
go
don't
out
think
there and
so.
we'll
I
see what
mean,
he
he
looks
let
like.
Gino go, so it was kind of the same thing in this to an extent. Not nothing crazy,
Yeah,
but it's enough that if he doesn't pan out, you didn't really break the bank per se. I think they gave him what 100 mil,
yeah,
110.
he got like 3 years. Was it? Was it 3? Yeah, I think it was like 3 years, 100 mil.
Yeah, something like that. 3 years, 110, 105, something like that. Um, Justin Fields going to the Jets. It's like we talked about. I think this is it for Justin Fields. This is his last. This is his last shot.
Yeah, I thought it was a very underrated move. It all depends on how Aaron Glenn utilized him in the offense. Because obviously you saw with the Bears, I mean, he ran for over 1,000 yards there, but the passing was a little so-so. So I feel like based on what we saw in that little small sample size, those 6 games where they went 4-2 with the Steelers, you can definitely see that, passing still needs some work. But I feel like if he can take a step forward, in this
Yeah,
offseason, then I think they could. I'm not going to say they're going to go to the Super Bowl, but that offense is still halfway decent.
they should win 10 games, eight games, 8, 9 games.
At least.
10 being like
Yeah,
the
at
most. Yeah,
least.
yeah. The Jets got a good defense. I know they've let some people go, but they've obviously let a lot offensively go. Pretty much everybody Aaron Rodgers came in. with. They're all gone. So, but yeah, I think, like I said, I think this is his last effort to be a starting quarterback in the league. Obviously, the
Yep.
Jets seen something in him that kind of okay, maybe this guy can win us, 9 or 10 games. Maybe they do like the Lions did with Jared Goff. Give him a chance. Trust me,
Yeah.
those first couple years with the Lions with Jared Goff are not very good. But hey, look at him now. Maybe that's the strategy you go for the long haul. Justin Fields is young,
He is really young. He still has a lot of time to improve.
so he's on the younger side. Yeah, he sat. You got to think he sat all most of the year last year. He only played 5 games, 6 games, 6 games.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple other games, but I mean, realistically, he sat behind Russell Wilson. So, um, jump into Grady Jarrett going to the Bears. That was a little bit. I wouldn't say that was a shock, but the Bears are making the right moves. They're trying.
Yeah. Yeah. They've made some
But
moves
you
across
have
the
to.
defense.
You have to. They made some moves on the offensive line too. I didn't know that. I was looking at that earlier. They've actually brought in some pretty good guys on the offensive line.
They had to though.
Um, I mean, yeah, you don't really have a choice. You pretty much sold everything that Caleb Williams was going to work out, and y'all won 4 games. So,
Yeah.
got to figure something out because that was not the expectation. But anyway, Josh Sweat going to the Cardinals. They paid him a decent amount of money, which, it's like we talked about before this started. The Eagles, obviously, they're going to lose a lot. Win the Super Bowl, everybody wants to get paid now. So I know they
Yeah.
kept some guys. Like I know they signed Zach Vaughn to a couple year deal. I think it was like 2 or 3 years. It might have been 1 year, but I'm pretty sure it was like a 3 year deal.
I think it's like
Um,
3 years, 51 million.
yeah, or something like that. So again, he had one good season. So a couple years from now, he might get that. He might break the bank on him.
Mhm.
But the Commanders are going crazy. They loading up for sure. They're trying to go win the Super Bowl for sure. They're fixing their defense. They let Jonathan Allen go, but they brought in some guys to replace him. So, but they're going crazy on both sides of the ball. So, I was kind of hoping they would go get a running back, but I think that they're perfectly fine with what they have, especially with Jaden Daniels. I don't really think it matters who you put behind him, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the Commanders are definitely they saw what they did last season and they're making the improvements to make the push to get past that. So like they're
Yeah.
thinking Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, you brought in Debo. If he can stay healthy, I mean, him and Scary Terry are probably going to be one of the best duos in the league next year.
Yep. I mean, they brought in Laramie Tunsil too, but the only issue that he had was last season he was like the second most penalized
Yeah, yeah,
player.
yeah. He does give up some penalties, but it's a veteran guy. So he's going to
Yep.
bring that. He's going to bring that to the table. So you know, they brought in a lot of people on defense too. I mean, I know they lost Dommy Brown, but I mean, he brought in Debo. So it's like we always say, man, you can't pay everybody. It sucks. Especially if they are your favorite player. Speaking of, I don't know what the 49ers are doing. They're panicking. They've gotten rid of pretty much their whole defense.
Yeah, I don't really know what their plan is because
They have to make moves to pay Brock Purdy. That's the only thing that makes sense in my mind. That's the only reason that I could think.
I don't I mean because the point that you always make is that he doesn't look that great when he doesn't have a team around him. So again, now we really get to
Maybe
this
that's
could
what they're
hurt him.
thinking.
This could definitely hurt him though because if he doesn't put up the numbers, and obviously I think they're probably thinking, oh, we don't have to pay him that much if he can't really replicate what he did in those first 2 seasons.
I don't think the 49ers are done. I think that they make a couple more trades that I think they're going to trade Christian McCaffrey.
I
I
seen a
mean,
report. I seen a report saying they should, which
he can't.
honestly,
It makes sense. He can't stay. He's either really good or he's hurt. There's no in between. Like he's hurt all the time. So I get it. If I'm the Commanders, I'd call them and see what they wanted. I
you can,
think that
yeah,
offense would be absolutely unstoppable. If he was healthy, I don't think that anybody would be able to stop him.
yeah. I mean, it's that part of it. It's the health part. I mean, he just
But they have Brian Robinson. I'd probably let him go, and I'd probably keep. I'd either let him go or let Austin Eckler go. I wouldn't keep either. I wouldn't keep both. I'd let one of them go. I'd
in all honesty,
probably let Austin Eckler go
yeah, I was gonna say
and
he's
keep
older.
Brian Robinson.
Well, Brian Robinson, he's younger, so he can still develop in like the receiving area. Obviously, he's
Yeah,
like a power back, so he doesn't really specialize in catching the ball in the backfield. That's why they went and got Austin Eckler. But Austin
yeah,
Eckler was still dealing with injuries, which he was
yeah.
dealing
He
with that
gets
when he came in.
concussions. But on to the next one. Devontae Adams to the Rams. That's a good move. They're going to let go of Cooper Kupp, I would imagine, unless they can somehow make a favorable deal. But I don't see that happening.
He just don't got the
Um,
market.
yeah, I mean, like we talked about, he's realistically only had really one good season for real. Other than that, they've been mid at
Yep.
best. If you want the honest truth,
Well,
yeah,
not to
he
mention the
had.
fact that he's been hurt a lot.
Yeah, it's that. Um, but yeah, Devontae to the Rams. I think that they're going to try to make one more push with Matt Stafford.
It's not a bad
Um,
signing.
yeah, I mean, no, I mean Devontae Adams. I mean, obviously a veteran, been in the league a long time. So yeah, I mean, it's not a bad signing. The Bills, obviously, we just said they paid Josh Allen, the highest paid quarterback in NFL. They got Josh Palmer, released Matt Collins. I was kind of surprised they got rid of Matt Collins, to be honest. But
Yeah, the Patriots ended up signing him, which I think that's.
that's a
I
good
don't think
move.
I think it's okay. I think it's all right. I
He's
still think
not
they've
like
got
a
some.
he's not like a I don't really want to say he's not a great receiver, but when it mattered the most, he was there for the Bills. I'm really shocked they let him go.
I'm not. They were probably looking to make some other moves,
But they brought
free up
in
some
Josh
money.
Palmer. That's a pretty good move because he was actually pretty solid for the Chargers.
Oh yeah, for
He'll
sure.
he'll definitely be number one. If not him, I don't know if Keon Coleman will be number one, but Josh Palmer will 100% be a great receiver for Josh Allen for sure. Him and Josh Allen should be a pretty good duo if Josh Palmer can stay healthy.
You think Joey Bosa will put up numbers for the Bills?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Their defense is already good. That's kind of what they were lacking, to be honest, was a pass rush. Yeah, he should be
I don't
pretty. That
know.
was a pretty good move for them, to be honest.
Yeah, but for some reason, someone's telling me that he's not going to excel over there.
He might. He might. We'll see. I mean, you played in LA your whole career. Now you got to go play in Buffalo. That's across the country.
Right?
So literally, you went from LA to New York. So yeah, that's literally across the country. So, you're used to playing when it's 70, 60 degrees. You got to go to Buffalo, New York, where it's negative 25 degrees. So I would expect him to, yeah, like you said, I don't know. I don't know. But DK going to the Steelers, getting $150 million. I'm not gonna lie to you. Jamar Chase seen that. Oh yeah, it's coming. He gonna want $200 million.
I think to be fair, like I said, like I always say, he's gonna have somewhere right in the middle of not above Justin Jefferson, but somewhere like right below him. Or maybe they're gonna just match what he got. Because they are like two best wide receivers in the league. So I mean it's hard to argue not paying him.
I mean, in a sense, DK got more money than Justin Jefferson.
Oh, I
Money
mean,
wise, money wise,
yeah,
he
but I
got
think NFL is
150.
more about like guarantees or not.
I mean, got $150 million the way I look at it.
Yeah, I mean money is money, but still.
But yeah, Justin Jefferson. I mean, Jamar Chase is sitting there seeing DK sign 5 years, 150 million, knowing he's better than DK. So they should
I
have
mean
paid him, but they should have paid him before all this started.
I can argue that he's not.
Better than DK? You've
Yeah.
lost your mind. You've lost your mind. You've lost your mind. You've you've lost your mind. That's the craziest thing you've ever said on here. You're just trying to get me riled up, and it ain't gonna work. But Jamar Chase is better than DK Metcalf, and that's not even, it's not even close.
I wouldn't say it's not close.
It's not close. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's not close.
I don't know. I mean,
Now you could argue that Jamar Chase does have a top 5 quarterback in the league throwing it to him. You could argue that. I mean, DK's had what, Geno Smith? I mean, he did have Russell Wilson.
like I said, man,
I
DK
wonder
is
if that's why they signed DK to the Steelers. They're going to keep Russell Wilson. That makes sense to me. That's what I was thinking. They're bringing in DK. They have a good connection with each other, and they're just going to try to make a run.
DK Metcalf when healthy is better than Jamar
You've
Chase.
lost your mind. Yeah, okay. And Sam Darnold is better than.
You got to think he got the speed, he got the size. He's literally everything rolled all in one. He got the routes, he can route run.
Yeah,
He
but he
got the.
doesn't. He doesn't do what Jamar Chase does. If he did that, he'd have a triple crown by now, but he doesn't. So hate that for him.
I mean, well, I mean, you got to
And you
think.
got to think, Jamar Chase on the other side has 1,000 yard receiver. DK didn't have that. Tyler Lockett was okay, but
Okay, don't disrespect Mr. Lockett like that. What are you
I
talking about?
mean, I'm just saying, like, he kind of caught Lockett on the back end. Like in his prime, yeah, Lockett was good, but DK is not better than Jamar Chase. You've lost your mind. That's the craziest thing you've ever said.
All right. Well, let's get back to this.
Miles signed. Obviously, he didn't care. I guess he said he wanted to go to a winning team, but I mean, I guess
Money talks.
$130 million changes that really quick, don't it?
Yeah, money definitely talks. He said, "Where do I sign? I'll give me a no trade clause. I don't care."
Yeah. Where's the pen? That's crazy that you talk all that trash about you want to leave and all this and all that, but they give you $130 million, and that changes your mind real quick, don't
Hey, I'm not
it?
mad at him.
Obviously, the Patriots made some pretty big moves. Um,
Mm, I wouldn't say
Especially on the
big.
defense. On the defensive side, they kind of have. I think
I would.
that
They were low key moves. They were just bringing
they're
in.
a young team. It would be hard for them to
Yeah,
get like a DK Metcalf or Debo or somebody like that. I'm just going to keep it real with you. They suck. There's no other. There's no way to sugarcoat it. I know
they
you're a
were.
Patriots fan, but
They
they
were
suck.
willing to pay Chris Godwin like $30 million a year,
I know, and he turned
and
it down. Isn't that should tell you everything you need to know?
oh yeah, no, I like I said, I
They
know the
literally were going to
reality
give Chris
is
Godwin like $100+ million, and he was like, "Man, I'm good. I'd rather stay in Tampa."
yeah. I mean, I don't, like I
But
said, I don't
but
blame
it
him.
kind of makes sense that he stayed in Tampa. If you want me to be real, I mean, that's just. I mean, I respect it. That's where your family is. That's where everything is. I mean, I'm not mad at him.
Yeah, I mean, you already been there
And
that long.
you got a good team. You know what you can. You know what Baker Mayfield's going to do. The
Yeah.
Patriots, you don't really know.
Nope.
Um, DJ Reed going to the Lions. They let go of Who the Patriots get? What was his name? Minus one blank. Carlton Davis, right?
Oh yeah, Carlton Davis.
Yeah. So they replaced him with DJ Reed. So that's DJ Reed's really good. So that's really not. I'd say that's kind. I wouldn't. I don't know if that's an even swap, but good replacement. DJ Reed's a good corner.
Yeah.
Um, Marquez Valdez Scantling went to Seattle, so they're gonna try. I think that'll be a good move for Sam Darnold because you're not gonna like what I'm fixing to say, but it kind of is gonna be kind of like what Minnesota ran. Marquez Valdez Scantling just runs go routes and just sling it to him. Just throw him the ball. Just throw it to him.
Yeah, I mean
I
that's the
mean,
majority of what he did for the Chiefs.
him and he was kind of looking pretty good in Seattle. I mean, not Seattle at in New Orleans. He was actually looking pretty good with Derek Carr until Derek Carr got hurt.
That whole roster got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, they were torching people. And he actually, I mean, that's pretty much all he can. I mean, I'm not saying that's all he can do, but that's pretty much what he does. He just runs routes because he's faster than everybody else. I mean, he's a big receiver.
Yeah, I
So,
think Smith Najigba is going to have a breakout season.
yeah, yeah, because he should be able to. He kind of resembles Jordan Addison. I mean, they're fast, so I think they'll be fine. Bosa going to the Bills. Um, like you said, we'll see. That's a different kind of atmosphere, different area. That's across the country. So if you're not used to playing in that temperature, that might be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Daniel Jones going to the Colts. He'll beat out Anthony Richardson. He sucks.
I don't know. He
He'll
might
he'll
not.
beat he'll beat him
I don't know. I don't. I mean, this is the
Yeah,
thing about
yeah.
Anthony Richardson. He's
Here's the reason why. There's no way you would have got Daniel Jones if you thought Anthony Richardson was your guy. Why would
well.
you go?
No, you gonna let him compete. I mean, look. This is the real. Okay, here's the thing with Anthony Richardson. He's only had. He hasn't even had a full season under his belt yet. A fully healthy season, anyway. So that's the first thing. If he can be healthy, you can see what he brings to the table, but he just has to put it all together.
Yeah, it's not there yet. He needs to go to like a quarterback camp or
But
maybe sit
realistically,
maybe sit him behind Daniel Jones maybe for a year and just see what happens. I don't know.
yeah, but I mean,
Obviously, you bring in Daniel Jones for a reason, and the Colts have a pretty good team, all in all. I mean, they got Michael Pittman, they got Jonathan Taylor. Uh, who else do they got? That might be I might have lied, but I know they
if
got a pretty good defense.
if Anthony Richardson beats out Daniel Jones, I think
Daniel
Daniel
Jones
Jones
sucks. Might as well retire. Hang it up. Come work at Academy or something because you suck.
he'll just have to.
I think I could
Yeah,
beat out Anthony Richardson.
absolutely not. You just saying stuff, man.
So he's the worst quarterback I've seen play in a long time.
I don't
Yeah,
know. You might want to take that back.
he quit on his team. So
There's some
that
pretty bad ones. Even if but regardless of the fact that he quit on the team or not, there's been some pretty bad quarterbacks who are way
I
worse
mean,
than him.
he's been pretty bad. He's looked very terrible. So I think Daniel Jones that shouldn't even be much of a competition if you just want my honest answer. But that's just
Are
me.
we
That's just me. That's just my opinion, I guess. I
are
don't even
we are
think
we
it's gonna be
talking
close.
about quarterbacks that got drafted to start or just quarterbacks that came in like the
I
last
mean,
however many years in
I
general?
think Daniel Jones is 100 times better than Anthony Richardson.
I wouldn't say all that.
I mean, I would.
We're not gonna act like he was just
I mean,
ah.
Daniel Jones was an MVP candidate at one point.
Come on, man, stop that. You
He
tripping?
was. He was. He cooked that. I mean, he. If you think about it, this might be great for Sam. I mean, this might be great for Daniel Jones. The Colts are a way better team than the Giants.
Could be.
So, but yeah, he should be able. If he can't beat him out, yeah, he just needs to go ahead, hang it up, retire, and hopefully, I mean, you already scammed New York out of $100 million, so you're straight. So,
Nah, New York scammed themselves out of $100 million, thinking that.
so they said this man. They said that was his team. They benched him and cut him the same year because they let Saquon walk. But that's another that's topic for another day. DeAndre Hopkins went to the Ravens.
He just wants a ring.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he went to the Chiefs, and he still couldn't win one. So if you couldn't win one with the Chiefs, you sure ain't gonna win one with Baltimore. I hate to tell you.
Be crazy if he did, though.
I mean, if you want me to be honest, that's what
I
they're
just,
missing a receiver. I don't know about a 35-year-old DeAndre Hopkins, but
yeah, I was about
hey,
to say,
maybe.
I don't think, because from what I saw with the Chiefs, you're playing one of the best quarterback in the league, and you really still can't do anything. I just don't think he's gonna bring that much to the table.
Yeah, what's he gonna bring to Lamar? Nothing. Now,
Exactly.
if Baltimore got like T. Higgins or something, okay, then you could probably argue, okay, that makes sense. Or if they got Debo or something like that, okay. But DeAndre Hopkins, what?
Yeah.
The Commanders re-signed Mariota today as well. I kind of figured that he's a good fit for the. He's a great locker room presence, and if like we talked about, if Jaden Daniels gets hurt, you don't have to change your offense. Him and Mariota are the same style quarterback. So,
Commanders re-sign Mariota.
but I'm still waiting to see what the Bengals do with Jamar Chase. It's going to be something stupid. I already know it is. I don't know
Uh,
what they're doing. Everybody is saying that the Bengals are the worst organization in football. If you were Joe Burrow, I would demand a trade, this, that, and the third. That, they're not paying their guys. They franchise tag T. Higgins twice.
mm,
But you got to kind of fix your defense. It doesn't matter if you got three Randy Mosses on your offense if you can't stop anybody on defense.
yeah, that's their main issue right there. They can't. They got to fix the defense.
So they have brought in some guys, not no big name guys, but it is what it is. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much all we have big name wise. I mean, obviously there's been a lot more free agency pickups than what we've said, but those are about the biggest ones. That's all I
Uh,
see. I don't see anything else. I'm looking now. Let me refresh.
yeah. I mean, with it, with the, I don't really expect anything big to happen in the last three, because it ends today at like 4.
I'm about to say,
So
if anything, you're going to see where Aaron Rodgers goes.
yeah. Other than that, I think all the bigger moves have pretty much been made. Um, Everything else is probably going on right now is like very low key. So yeah, I'm interested to see how some of these guys look in these new uniforms.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Who are
think
you?
DK Metcalf.
Who are you? Oh, Geno Smith went to the Raiders. Forgot to mention that. I don't know if we mentioned that or not, but last time, but he went to the Raiders. So, if anything, out of all the quarterbacks, who do you think is going to do the best?
Probably Sam Darnold. He technically has
A better team, I guess.
the heats out of all the offenses that these quarterbacks went to. He probably has the best one.
Maybe. I mean, the Raiders ain't got nothing, but
Oh no, well. Hold on, because they got Brock Bowers. My man did have over 1,000 yards as a rookie tight end.
where did Najee Harris go?
He went to the Chargers.
The Chargers. That was a pretty good pickup for them. I was kind of hoping Cincinnati would get him, but I guess not.
Yeah, they got him for pretty cheap too. So
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, running backs, he's not like if he'd have ran for like 1,800 yards, he probably would have got something. But he barely breaks 1,000. So,
If I
but
said
hey,
it once, I'll say it again. The Bengals are going to draft Ashton Genty.
I don't know if he's going to be there. I think that the Cowboys did pick up Javonte Williams.
I promise you, he should be there.
The Cowboys pick before we do, so I don't know if he will or not.
They're the Cowboys. Obviously, they're not going to take it.
But yeah, that's all I got. That's what we're going to do next week. Is a NFL mock draft. So be on the lookout for that. So
in other sports news, Tiger Woods says he ruptured his Achilles.
yeah, I think he just needs to go ahead and hang it up or retire. Obviously, people can say what they want to say, but he's the greatest golfer of all time. I don't care what anybody says. He's the GOAT. It's just that simple. I
mean that's undisputed.
I mean, they said he couldn't come back and win the Masters, and he came back and won the Masters. So,
but that's one of those sports where it's not really like you can't really debate. Like with NBA, you got LeBron James versus Michael Jordan. NFL, you got Patrick Mahomes.
You could argue it. There's always going to be arguments for who's the greatest of all time. People would say Phil Mickelson, Jack Nicklaus. There's a whole guys that played way before we ever got to see him. But in my opinion, it's Tiger Woods, and it's not even close.
Right there with you.
He kind of fell off because he's had a lot of injuries and a lot of health issues. I mean, the man can barely walk. So,
well, I think a majority of him falling off had to do with his mental situation after he got caught up in that scandal. But and
his wife whooped him with that golf club.
That's my personal opinion. So
no, because he still came back and won the Masters after that.
I mean, yeah, but if you look at the trajectory that he would have been on, but obviously, majority of it was health issues, which comes
he's had a lot of health issues with like his legs and stuff. So it is what it is. He's old and he's been playing golf for a long time. It doesn't matter what you play. Eventually, the wear and tear on your body.
Look at LeBron James. He just re-aggravated that whatever that groin injury was that he was dealing with a few seasons ago. And he's out
they
for like
should
a couple
be fine
of weeks.
as long as Luka can score about 30 or 40 a game.
He's gonna have to score 50. He's gonna have to score 50 a game, or they're just gonna have to play some bad teams because he's gonna have to shoulder the load. Because who else do they have? Besides Austin Reeves, I think Austin Reeves will probably bump up his scoring to about 20 a night.
That I don't know. I don't even know who they play. Look. So they play the Bucks on the 13th. They've lost 2 in a row. They lost to the Celtics and lost to the Nets.
Well,
so yeah, they got beat by the Nets, and the Nets they've only won like 20 games. So
yeah, the NBA is
I don't know. I don't really know who this is.
They're hitting that final stretch.
Vincent?
Oh, Gabe Vincent.
I was gonna say yeah. Yeah, he had the most points, and it was 24. So Luka had 22, but that ain't enough. Goodness. That ain't enough.
Absolutely not. Nowhere near enough.
That ain't enough.
But yeah, the NBA, they're pretty much we're like 60 or so games into the season now, so about 20 games left. Now you're about to see teams. They're about to start looking at certain lineups. They're about to start shrinking that rotation just a little bit to see exactly what they want to look like.
The Lakers are number 1 in their little division or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, but I think they're like third in the conference behind. Yeah, they're third in the conference behind Denver and OKC.
So I mean, like you said, they got to figure something out. Or let's see. I mean, their defense sucks. So I don't really think it matters who you play because they got to play Milwaukee, Denver, the Suns, the Spurs. Let's see. They said LeBron was going to be out, 2 or 3 weeks? So they got to play Milwaukee and Denver, and he should be back on the 16th. No, these are back-to-back games. I'm sorry. So he should be back by the time they play the Bulls the second time on the 27th, give or take.
Yeah,
Somewhere in
see,
there.
they could
Somewhere in there.
if they lose a few games, they could easily go from like third to sixth in the Western Conference because the Western Conference
Yeah, they're
from
not going to
two
be able to score enough
through.
to beat Denver.
Yeah, no, Jokic is just he's. I wouldn't be surprised if they
They're
gave
gonna
him like
they'll
another
probably lose
MVP.
to the Bucks and Denver because they're not going to be able to score enough to beat either one of them. They might not be able to score to beat any of
They'll
them.
have like the teams that aren't really that good. They should be able to do enough to beat them. But yeah, for sure the Bucks and the Nuggets. I don't really see them beating either of those teams.
I
That'd
mean,
be
they
tough to
play
do.
Denver on the 14th and then play them again on the 19th. So
Oh yeah, no,
and then
that's
play the Bucks again on the 20th. So they play Milwaukee, Denver, then they play Denver, Milwaukee, all within the span of like next week. So and the
yeah, that's
Suns
tough.
and the Spurs.
That is very tough.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. Let me make sure nothing crazy's happened on ESPN. But yeah,
Yeah, no, that's pretty much all I got too. Um, so I think that's gonna wrap up this NFL free agency episode. Um, I don't think I'm leaving anything out.
I don't think so.
Um, yeah, well, that pretty much does it for this one, and we'll catch y'all in the next episode.